In this video, I'm gonna give you 4 different mindset shifts that you need to do in order to go from being a freelancer and doing everything by yourself, being around that $10,000 per month mark to $15,000 per month mark, to actually scaling and becoming an actual CEO of a company where you can get your time freedom back, where you can get out of the grind, where you can stop trading time for money, and much, much more. The first thing that we need to do in order to go from being that freelancer to the CEO is we need to get out of the freelancer mindset. We need to stop thinking like a freelancer would. We need to start thinking like a business owner would. Stop trading time for money. That is not scalable. That is freelancer thinking, and that will just keep you exactly where you are. Having a reactive business versus a proactive business. Focusing on them versus the business. Short-term thinking. When's my next project going to come through? Do I know what my business is going to look like 3 months from now? Or am I just relying on what's in front of me? This is the short-term thinking, freelancer thinking that we need to get out of. Zero vision. Where are you going to be in a year? No systems. If you don't have systems, then you don't have a business. I'm sorry. A lot of people are relying just on like text messages that they get from their clients, and it's just a complete mess because that gives you no ability to scale whatsoever. Reluctant to spend money. This is huge. A lot of the freelancers that I talk to, they're like, I don't want to hire this person. Why would you not hire this person to get 40 hours a week back into your week so that you could focus on the business activities? And then lastly, I'm grinding. Days spent on shoots, nights spent editing. This is the freelancer mindset that we need to get out of. The question that I always like to ask myself, if you were to hire anyone inside of your business to take you to the next level, who would it be? Would it be someone, a freaking Jeff Bezos? Would it be someone like a Hormozy? Would it be an Elon Musk? Would it be a Gary Vaynerchuk? If you were to hire these people, whoever that is inside of your business, what would happen if you posed to them some of your thoughts? Like maybe you're having some of these thoughts. What would a Hormozy say to you? I'm pretty confident they would look at you and be like, that's not how we do it. What we need to do is we need to get into the mindset of a business owner. Like what I practice a lot is the mindset stuff. How do I begin to see myself as the person that I want to become? Because what that's going to do is that's going to control our destiny. And a good visual for that is this circle. So we have an identity, which turns into a thought, which turns into a feeling, which turns into an action, which turns to a result. If we're thinking in our identity, I can't scale a business. What's the thought that that's going to create for us? I'm just a freelancer. And by having that thought, what's the feeling that that's going to give us? I'm unsure, I'm scared. And what's the action from that feeling? I'm going to keep working with whoever comes my way. I'm going to just remain myself. And then what's the result of that action? You're just going to remain where you are. So what we need to do is we need to focus on our identity. And once we can begin to shift our identity and how we see ourselves, then we're going to have different thoughts about ourselves. I'm a business owner. I can scale this business. And what that's going to do is going to create more better feelings, optimism, like motivation, certainty of your future. That's the feeling that you're going to feel. And what's the action going to be from that? It's going to be, hey, I'm going to grind. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to learn from people. I'm going to invest in my business. I'm going to invest in the people. I'm going to get coaching. Those are the actions that will come from the certainty. And what is the result from that? You begin to grow a freaking business beyond yourself. So it's the whole shift which is going to create a specific result. Second thing that I want to hit on is we need to stop saying yes to everything. We need to realize is that every time you say yes, you're actually saying no. So what we need to think about is like every time I'm saying yes to a random project, you're saying no to scaling, hiring, sticking with offer, working on the business, working with the right ideal clients. We need to put this boundary around our business, and within the boundary, it's pretty much our offer. Because if once we begin to step out of our boundaries, there's no way to scale if we're not sticking with an offer. What I typically see is like the freelancers, they'll say stuff like they'll get projects as they come, they'll shoot anything, they'll say yes to projects outside of the scope of what they typically do. They're heavily involved and everything is, all the fulfillment is just around them. They're asking the clients what they want. This is really painful. And then guessing pricing. We need to have it the solution that solves a problem for the specific client. Or what is the real outcome that your customers actually want? It's teed up to be scalable and delegatable. It's repeatable, it's profitable. In short, we need to be a marketer, not a red button pusher, not an editor, not a poster. So your clients do not care that you have a 4K camera. What they care about is what is the outcome that you're able to provide for me that's going to tell myself I'm getting an outcome from spending this money on this person and it's providing me an ROI. We need to focus on who are the clients that I can actually help. This becomes like your niche. Then when you think about what are their pain points, then we need to figure out what is their desired outcome. We need to figure out how do I get my client from where they are to where they want to go. This is going to become your offer. You're basically going to map out what are the steps to get the clients from where they are to where they want to go. We need to be really detailed of the steps that it's going to require to get our clients from where they are to where they want to go. And this is how we begin to have an outcome driven offer that solves a problem for the client that is repeatable because we're defining the steps. And then once we define the steps, it's way easier later on to make this productized, to hire people. We need to figure out who can I hire to do these steps? And we need to start thinking that way when we're looking at our offer. Now we need to say, how much is that step going to take if I pay them? Now we know We have a team member in place to actually fulfill the step. We know how much it's going to cost to fulfill that step and how long it's going to take to fulfill that step. We know that these are the steps to get them to the outcome. And what we do with that number, that becomes our cost of goods sold. We need to multiply that by 3 or 4 to give us 66.66% margin. And that becomes the sticker price to the client. This is how we begin to get out of the freelance grind. The next real mindset shift is we need to be a salesperson. What we need to realize, in a great quote from the OG Brian Tracy, we need to approach each customer with the idea of helping him or her solve a problem or achieving a goal, not selling a product or service. The reason you don't want to feel like a salesperson, you're just not good at communicating your value. First things first, you need to be convicted on your offer. And then second, what we need to do is we need to figure out, how do I communicate the value to the client? That is all we have to do in sales. The way to do that is having structure. Quick structure is what we're going to go through. So when we get on the call with the customer that we're going to run our offer through, build rapport. How long have you been in business? Then we set the structure. We take authority. We say, cool, what we're going to do is we're going to ask you some questions about your business. I'm going to learn more about the current situation as far as it pertains to social media, video, and that's what we're going to talk about. And at the end of it, I'll share if we're potentially a fit and go through the options that we have in working together. Next is motivation. What made you open to jumping on a call? Well, tell me a little bit about like where you're at. What are you currently doing to get business on social media? What are you currently doing to grow your brand? What's the goal as it pertains to building your brand and getting business on social media? Then we can understand where they're trying to get to, which is our outcome that we probably have defined in our offer. And then the next question that we ask is, what's in the way? And this is where we need to perk up our ears and we need to listen for the pillars of the roadblocks. For each thing, what's in the way, what we need to ask is pain questions. Now, the customer, they're very problem solution aware. This is really painful. And then we repeat that. And then now they're very aware of the problem. Next is commitment. What's stopping you from doing this on your own? Like, why now? Transition pre-pitch. Basically, if you feel like you can't help them, awesome. Like, yeah, we help a lot of people just like you, John, who was able to close a deal and he no longer even checks his social media because we have it taken care of. Yeah. Then we do a presentation. You're going to share the steps, and based off of the steps, you're going to tie that back into how that can help them get to the outcome and solve the pain points that they just laid out to you. And then we're going to do a temp check. Do you feel like this will help you get from A to B? What questions do you have? And then we do the price frame. Like, we need to learn the skills. We need to just go from the mindset of not being a salesperson, a closer, to having empathy and helping people. And how do I get them to the outcome? And how do I communicate that I can get them to the outcome? That is how you crush sales. And last but not least, and probably my favorite point to talk on, is becoming a leader. A lot of people in this space say, people only want to work with me. Or they say, only I can do it. Or they say, Austin Schneider Media Agency. I'm hustling. I see this, I freaking facepalm. What we need to realize, if we want to grow a business, like, business equals people. What happens is when we're starting Freelancer or we're growing our business, we get to a point where there's no longer time in the day. We start to hire people. And then as we hire people, we are no longer doing the work. We are no longer editing the videos, shooting the videos, doing what we used to do as a freelancer. We're relying on other people to do the fulfillment for us. We need to make sure that the team is absolutely set up to crush it for our clients. Your most important client is not the client that's paying you money. Your most important client is your team, because your team is the people that we're going to be performing on behalf of your agency. And if they're not up to par, if they're not A players, what's going to happen? The client's going to leave. They're going to be pissed. You're going to be pissed. You're going to go back to the grind. So what we need to do is we need to treat our team as our most important clients, but we need to invest into our team to make them you, meaning we need to train them. We need to invest in training them. We need to get what's in your head into systems, into processes, and we need to train the team on systems and processes so that they can build themselves up. And what's going to happen eventually is you're going to replace yourself with specific roles. Make sure that they're able to do it as good as you. And what you need to make sure is that you are doing everything that you can do to set your team up for success. What I always say is that a CEO is a chief expectation officer, meaning they know what they need to do in order to crush it and meet a KPI. It also means that you're giving them the tools in order to crush it. That is how you're going to replace yourself. That's how you're going to build a team. That's how you're going to be a real leader inside of an agency. Systems run the business, people run the systems. We need to have good systems in place, tools in order for the team to work, and then we need to have the team trained up, being able to work the systems. But your goal is to build up and get people on your team better than you. What better feeling is to have a team that is better than you? Help your team achieve their goals and your goals will be met. If you can feed into your team, if you can make them better, if you can help them achieve what they want to do professionally, it's only going to help you. Final points on the leadership. We need to first lead ourselves. Okay, are you a leader worth following? Would you follow you? We need to create systems for the team. We need to feed into the team. Your best investment is going to be inside of the team because they're going to be handling the client workload. And we need to look at our organization as a collective mission. It is not you, it is you and your team on a mission to achieve a specific desire. So the more people that we can get bought into the mission, you leading the mission, the bigger your organization is going to be. And that's how you're really going to transition out of being a freelancer working in the business all the time. Guys, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you're not, join our school group. It's free. And guys, would love your feedback on this video. And if there's any points that you want me to go deeper on, maybe it's the sales, maybe it's the leadership, maybe it's the mindset stuff, I will do a separate video, but let me know down in the comments what point stuck with you the most. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.